Have you ever been given advice by someone older only to realize it felt like something you'd already outgrown? Or perhaps it just didn't resonate, like there was a gap between what they knew and what you needed? Many people assume age brings wisdom, but does it? Or is it something deeper that truly shapes us? In this video, you'll learn why experience and age aren't always synonymous with wisdom, how habitual patterns can limit growth at any age, the role of awareness in transforming life experiences, and how younger individuals with conscious awareness can be wise beyond their years. There's a common belief that as people grow older, they naturally become wiser simply by having experienced more years. But what if age alone doesn't actually add much to our personal growth? We might think of experience as the sum of years we've lived, yet experience in its purest form is more about how we live. Consider someone in their 60s who has had countless years behind them. Now, imagine that this person has spent those years reliving the same patterns without truly growing from them. They might have been through many relationships, for example, yet still approach each one with the same mindset, struggling with the same conflicts and reactions. This cycle of repetition may limit rather than enrich their wisdom. They're seasoned by age, but haven't necessarily grown in awareness or understanding. Experience alone doesn't make us wise. It's awareness, that reflective, conscious decision making, that adds depth and insight to life. Wisdom isn't about how many years we lived, it's about how intentionally we live them. People often fall into routines, repeating the same patterns of thought and behavior over decades without noticing the stagnation. They eat the same way, they hold the same attitudes, and approach relationships with the same habits year after year. This sameness isn't just habit, it's a kind of autopilot that keeps us in a loop, limiting our growth. For example, someone might view relationships in terms of control or defense, patterns they developed in their early years. These unchallenged habits can lead them to push people away, create tension, or never fully experience true connection. In this sense, an older person, despite their life experience, may still find themselves in the same relationship conflicts as someone half their age, if they've never explored new ways of relating. It's possible to look at these patterns and recognize where they hold us back. The key difference is choosing to step into new ways of being. Wisdom involves intentionally letting go of automatic reactions and exploring responses that align more with the life we want to create. So, what's the difference between someone who grows with age and someone who simply ages? The answer lies in awareness, the choice to evolve, to notice our thoughts and actions, and to question how we react to life. Wisdom involves consciously choosing a path, noticing the behaviors that don't serve us, and having the courage to try new approaches. When we talk about wisdom, it isn't about the number of relationships someone has had or the number of times they've tried and failed, but rather about their ability to reflect on those experiences. With awareness, even someone much younger can bring greater insight into relationships, health, or self-growth than someone twice their age who lives without that reflection. A younger person who's focused on conscious growth, who actively reflects and adapts their responses, is living a life of wisdom. They may have fewer years, but are creating experiences that align with a more intentional, expansive way of being. It's a reminder that true wisdom doesn't depend on the years we've accumulated, but on the depth with which we live them. Transformation often involves repetition or intense emotional experiences, whether through moments of joy, challenge, or deep personal insight. Many people stick with patterns until something powerful enough shakes them, forcing a reevaluation. This jolt can be a moment of clarity or an intense experience that shows us how stuck we've become. There's power in choosing to intentionally change our responses, breaking free from old patterns and giving ourselves new experiences, even if it's through small shifts. By repeating new, consciously chosen behaviors, we carve out a fresh path, one that aligns more closely with the life we desire. Through this kind of active participation in our own lives, we begin to truly experience life in a fresh way, one that isn't tied to the age or number of years, but to the wisdom we choose to cultivate in each moment. The Inner Foundation series can help you tap into this depth of awareness and wisdom, guiding you toward more conscious living and freedom from old patterns, regardless of your age.